built I-25 in the 20s, we pushed East Plum Creek over to make room for the highway, right? When we pushed it into a new orientation, a new configuration. You've all run your hose down the driveway, right? And you've washed mud and sand off your driveway. Well, maybe not. Maybe you watched your folks do it. The faster that water goes, the easier it moves things, right? Well, when we push a really big stream into a new type of soil, it moves a lot of soil. Sometimes it moves the banks. And if you have a house right next to the creek, do you want the creek cutting its way over in your backyard? So that's where some engineers way back, maybe some ranchers, they put cars, big cars, in the channel to prevent the stream from cutting into the property, right? It's unsightly, they break down over time, and it's kind of a hazard to both the quadrupeds and the bipeds, right? As well as the ichthyoids. Because we pushed it into a new type of soil, it cuts really fast, just like your hose in your sandbox. It moves that sand really fast, right? The stream will start cutting its way down into the soil. That's called incision, right? Just like in surgery, you take a knife and you can incise or cut. The stream does that to the earth, right? So here we're seeing what we call this bank wasting. So as the stream cuts deeper and deeper, the banks of the stream will fall into the creek. That's a sign that the stream is still immature. Here's what we were talking about, right? So if we took the Subway sandwich and we cut it in half, and we looked at the end of the Subway sandwich, that's called a section. These are sections. Does that make sense? Of the channel. A very stable channel, we could say, is a class 1 channel, right? It has a well-defined low flow, like every year it rains a little bit, it's just constantly kind of running. But then sometimes you have a 10-year event. It rains so hard that the 10-year event happens once every 10 years. It gets into this first floodplain. We call that the 10-year floodplain. Then maybe the 50-year event happens, and it gets up into an even a greater channel or floodplain elevation, right? When the incision happens, and incisions happen because sometimes we need, let me see if I can get it up here, rock. Say you're a rancher.
Oh, yay.
Right? You got 100 head of cattle and you need to make a road to get in there. So you need aggregate, you need gravel to drive on.
Okay.
So you take your excavator and you go out in the stream. And here we have a very low angle, low energy stream, right? The water's just kind of lazily moving along. And this one's a really high energy stream. This is like up in the mountains, right? It's really steep. The water's moving really fast. And you take your excavator and you start digging out some gravel, right? But as you dig that gravel out, the water now collapses into that hole, right?
Right.
That's called an incision or a head cut